Oh!
A rat wakes up in a small dumpster domicile in the heart of the junkyard. He stands up, stretches very cartoonishly, and bolts out the door. He scurries up the intricate trash megastructure until he eventually reaches the top and is greeted by a beautiful neon sky sunrise. Ah, another day in paradise, he thinks to himself as he hops out to the sand below. He dusts himself off and scurries across the yard into an empty egg carton that's seemingly welded to the ground. In the 12th slot, he kicks open a small hatch that goes down underground. This is Rat's little explorer's base of operations, complete with rations of scrap food and, over a period of years, some small camping supplies and other random pieces of trash that have been repurposed for whatever goofy antics him and his friends get up to. On top of a small matchbox is a little piece of paper with a drawing of a bacon, egg, and cheese. His eyes glow like he's seeing gold, and his mouth waters, causing him to cartoonishly lick his lips, shifting his gaze to his pile of food scraps. I'm sick of these scraps. It's time I found some real food. And his stomach grumbles. He grabs his pack and loads it up with whatever he can find of it inside. Shortly thereafter, he emerges from the secret carton compartment with a hero stance and a determined grin. Our little rat friend sets off on a grand adventure to a very, very dark place. Eerie, dank, and quiet. The sewers are hollow. In an instant, the rat realizes how little he knew of Paragon City before. What was once fabled among rat folk as a heavenly place already seemed to be something else entirely. Attached to his jacket is a small UV light. He gives it a tap and illuminates the general area around him with a greenish hue. He begins navigating the trash-infested tunnels quickly but carefully. Eventually, his UV light begins to flicker. Again and again until it dies. Now in complete darkness, the rat begins to dart his head around, beginning to sweat. A glowing pair of kaleidoscope-lit eyes reveal themselves in the distance. Then another and another, until he's seemingly surrounded by them. He frantically smacks the UV light until it comes back to life, revealing him being surrounded by a very curious group of fiends. One extends a decrepit finger, attempting to touch the rat. He quickly and ferociously claws the finger, running as fast as he can, blindly running through the barely lit tunnels. He eventually notices a slightly ajar sewer manhole above him. Without hesitation, he scurries up the sidewall and launches out of the manhole directly into the center of the drag.
Hey, look at this! Fresh meat!
Never seen one of them before. Wonder how much clarity we can score for it.
Screw that! Let's just kill it!
the way down in the slums, straight into the center of a moldy lox, capers, and cream cheese bagel. Finally. The bacon, egg, and cheese is finally mine. And immediately dives into it and takes a big old bite. But there's only one thing wrong. The capers on this bagel were not capers at all, but a smear of clarity lathered straight all over it. He looks down, and his feet begin to lift off the ground until he finds himself floating high above the city, all the way to the top of the dome. He begins soaring around flesh-tech towers, floats down to the slums, the drag, and everywhere in between. Slowly, he opens his eyes and sees the world has returned to normal. Before he can readjust, a nearby window shatters. The Rat's trip decided to end right outside of Paragon City's most infamous fight club. Plagued by curiosity, he slips into a ventilation shaft and navigates down until he sees the madness for himself. The ultimate blood sport. The Pugilist Pit.
Ladies, gentlemen, and amalgamations, welcome to the main event of the evening. We've got a special one for you tonight. Two heavyweight contenders with eyes of the big prize. But alas, when we enter the arena, that can only mean one thing. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. That's right. So without further ado, let's get to it. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight!
Yes!
The rat scurries down the wall and swiftly but stealthily navigates through the crowd and slips into the vent adjacent to the office to eavesdrop. Like a fly on the wall, the rat listens into a conversation between the Payara and a group of 3 suited goons.
Boss, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. We don't know what happened.
So let me get this straight. You 3 pricks think you can roll into an old flesh-tech operated establishment with nothing but a couple of pea shooters, and you think that them fucking suits weren't gonna make you out? With all that tech, they can see right through them bullshit masks.
You think we're amateurs? We took him out. You should be thanking us. He ain't a problem for you no more. Just because you're some big shot around here doesn't mean we gotta be afraid of you. Time to pay up.
You know, I've been in this city a real long time. Seen the faces of evil take hold of it, turn it into a slice of hell. You ever wondered how I stayed alive this long? Fear. Somebody steals from me, I cut off his hands. He offends me, I cut out his tongue. He rises against me, I cut off his head. Stick it on a pike, raise it high up so all in the streets can see. That's what preserves the order of things. Fear. Took you long enough, you fucking peanuts.
Hey! Grab that fucking rat! Get away!
The rat, without a moment's hesitation, leaps out of the window, landing in the back of a dump truck full of rotting pugilist contender corpses. Despite the smell, he takes a small sigh of relief as the truck heads away from that hellhole. We see a road sign that says, "Now entering the Lagoon." When he opens his eyes, he can see two goons beginning to grab and haul corpses from the back of this dump truck over to a massive lake of sludgy blue liquid. There's something lurking under the water, ever so subtly shifting the waves of the lagoon. This place is like something out of a nightmare. After a few moments of rest and reflection, he looks up and notices a small piece of paper slowly floating down until it lands perfectly between his feet. Flesh Tech is lying to you. Join the rebellion and change the world. He smirks and shifts his gaze to the alleyway across the street. A few paces into the darkness, a group of about 10 people begin making their way further into the dark alley. Once again, plagued by curiosity, he decides to follow them. The rat follows them up to a tall fire escape, slipping into an apartment window on the top floor. He's immediately noticed by one of the men sitting on the couch.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Come on in, grab a beer. It's cold out there,
he says as he points to the six-pack of booze sitting on the coffee table in front of him.
You're a puny man.
The men go back to conversing with each other, while the rat notices the rest of the group across the hall. Trying his luck, he wanders into the room to see what they're up to. Before he even has a chance to react, one of the soldiers turns around and notices his curiosity.
guy. You want to help us change the world?
Feeling a strange wave of trust, and lets the hulking man hoist him up onto his shoulders. They nod at each other, and the group leaves the room.
For too long, we've had to sit idly by while Flesh Tech leeches everything they can from the people. Today is the day we throw a spike into the cogwheel of corruption and bring down the system that's robbed so many of their humanity in the name of greed. This tower will burn, and from the ashes left behind, we will rebuild and restore Paragon City to its former glory. Rebellion, are you with me?
Captain, are we ready?
Aye, ready to head into the bowels of hell.
One at a time, everyone begins hopping up on the zipline, navigating down it towards the tower. He takes a gulp, scurries down the zipline with surprising ease until he reaches the end. He waits for the rest of the group and resumes his position on the captain's shoulders as they enter the tower.
Gentlemen.
Time to go. Rebellion, it has been an honor.
The rat, wholesomely waving them off, just now realizes he's been left behind. His grin quickly turns to panic, and he scrambles around the roof to find something that can help him get down. He turns his head and sees Flesh Tech Tower crumbling down into the center of the city like a Jenga tower. Well, that's convenient. The neon sky glows above it, beautifully illuminating everything underneath like strange radiated northern lights. The rat feels a wave of relief. He calmly walks over to the dumpster and climbs to the top. He takes a seat on the edge, letting his feet hang off the side. He looks up to the neon sky, lays back, and for a moment, we feel the warm, relaxing sensation he feels as he slowly drifts off to sleep.